Good morning, everyone. Uh, Today we are going to see 17th and 18th centuries art in Europe. After the Renaissance, there were two major art movements. One is Baroque and the other one is Rococo. So let's see the Baroque art movement's background first. The period of 17th and 18th centuries in Europe is called the Age of Kings. Some of the most powerful rulers in history occupied the thrones of various countries during this time. The same period could equally be called the Age of Colonial Settlement. The Spanish, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, and the English had established permanent settlement in North and South America. Baroque art was an art movement during this turbulent 17th and 18th centuries. Baroque art differs from that of the Renaissance. So that is the key point of this chapter. Baroque art is full of emotion, energy, and movement. So we are going to see how Baroque art is different with the Renaissance first. The colors are more vivid in Baroque art than in Renaissance art, with greater contrast between colors and between light and dark. Baroque art has been called dynamic, sometimes even theatrical, in architecture and sculpture. Where the Renaissance sought a classic simplicity, the Baroque favored ornamentation as rich and complex as possible. So let me compare the Renaissance and the Baroque art styles. So everyone, look at this picture of Renaissance and Baroque church's interior style. The left one is the Renaissance, and the right one is the Baroque style. So can you find the difference between these two styles, everyone?
The right is more ornate.
Very good. Yes, exactly. So the Renaissance architecture style shows simple, logical, logical and classical. On the other hand, this Baroque architecture shows ornamentational and sophisticated. Very good. Now let's look at these two sculptures. The left one is Michelangelo's David statue in Renaissance era. And the right one is Gian Lorenzo Bernini's Saint Teresa in the Baroque era. Of course, these two sculptures are amazingly beautiful and reach the highest technique in fine art. But the first feeling for these two sculptures are totally different. Can you find the difference between these two styles of sculpture?
The right one might be telling more of a story.
Oh, yeah, very good. It seems like it has a story. Yes, because it looks dramatic. Very good. What else?
Emotion in the second picture.
Very good. Yes, we can feel the emotion through the Baroque sculpture. What else? How about the lighting?
Lighting is more centralized?
Centralized means like, it has a highlight and the other part has, darkness. Very good. So the Michelangelo's David's statue shows the beauty of balance. It shows the ideal beauty, and it is very bright to celebrate the hero. On the other hand, the Baroque sculpture, the Saint Teresa, is dramatic, even theatrical. And it shows a heavy light contrast by locating the sculpture in the darkest spot and using window light from the top of the roof. So that is one of the features of Baroque art style. Now let's see paintings. The left one is the Raphael's, the school of Athens of the Renaissance. And the right one is Peter Paul Rubens' painting, the raising of the cross of the Baroque era. Can you see the difference? What's the difference, everyone?
The Baroque is pretty complex.
Exactly.
The Renaissance kind of have only maybe a linear perspective,
Very good.
and the Baroque kind of maybe have multi-perspective, I
Very
will
good.
say.
Exactly. Very good. How about the lighting? Um, it's all right. So, again, the Raphael's painting is basically, here, the left one, following the perspective rule, which means it is well balanced, right? So it is calm and peaceful and bright and logical. On the other hand, the Rubens's painting is focused on this subject, so not really followed the perspective rule. And it shows deep contrast with bright light, bright highlighting, and very dark shadow. Also, the movement is dynamic, and the whole painting mood is very emotional. Very good. So this is the important part. To conclusion, the Renaissance art shows stillness, logicality, peace and calm, classicism, and brightness. And the Baroque art shows motion, emotion, turbulence, grandeur, and contrast. So please remember each art movement's features. And now we are going to see two Baroque artists in this chapter. The first artist is Caravaggio. Caravaggio was an Italian painter. His paintings combine a realistic observation of the human state, both physical and emotional, with the dramatic use of lighting. Look at this. Oh, how beautiful it is. So he picked the painful moment when Jesus Christ got the crown. And he's one of the most famous Baroque artists. So look at the beautiful lighting and the beautiful skin texture. So we can say he's an amazing artist. So except for the technique, his paintings emotion is also very realistic. So feels like we are in the middle of the painful moment. And this painting is about Saint Thomas checking Jesus' wound with surprised, profound face. This is Caravaggio's another biblical episode painting. Judith, this girl, Judith saved her people by seducing and beheading the Assyrian general Holofernes. The same topic was depicted in the Renaissance era, so which is the left painting. Judith, in the left painting, looks very peaceful and calm. So it is hard to believe that she's after the battle. She looks even elegant. On the other hand, Caravaggio's painting is dramatic and dynamic with the detailed description. So it is capturing the moment of the event. That's the difference. This is David with the head of Goliath by Caravaggio. And this same theme made by different era, of course, the Renaissance by Michelangelo. So even though Michelangelo and Caravaggio depicted the same David in their work of art, their Davids look totally different. Michelangelo's David is made as a hero, and he has an idealized body because he is a hero. On the other hand, Caravaggio's David doesn't have an ideal body, just depicted as a normal human. Also, Caravaggio shows the moment David took the Goliath's head with unpleasant face. All right, let's move on to the next artist, Rembrandt. So Rembrandt was a Dutch draftsman, painter, printmaker, and he's generally considered one of the greatest visual artists in the history of art and the most important in Dutch art history. So this Rembrandt's largest and the most famous painting was made for one of the three headquarters of Amsterdam's Civic Guard. So these groups of civilian soldiers defended the city from attack. Rembrandt was the first to paint all of the figures in a civic guard in action. And he has an excellent technique to capture a moment in his painting. The wild sea in a storm feels like we can see the rage of the sea through his painting. And he was very famous with his self-portrait style. He settled the traditional portrait manner in terms of pose, light, and mood. So many of artists followed these portrait painting styles. So there is a video about Rembrandt in the Moodle page. So please watch it to see diverse his beautiful work of art. Now, let's move on to the next art movement, the Rococo. So the age of Rococo is a development and extension of the Baroque style. The term Rococo was a play on the word Baroque, but also it refers to the French word for rocks and shells, forms that appeared as decorative motif in architecture, in furniture, and in painting. The Rococo subject and mood of art is slightly different from the Baroque, even though it is an extension of the Baroque. So, like Baroque, Rococo is an extravagant, ornate style, but there are several points of contrast. Baroque was an art of cathedral and palaces. On the other hand, Rococo was more intimate, suitable for the eclectic home and the drawing room. Baroque is large in scale, massive, dramatic, and Rococo has a smaller scale and a light-hearted, playful quality. So let's see the examples. So the left one is the Baroque architecture style we just saw. And the right one is the Rococo style architecture's interior. So these are all complicated, but we can find the differences between these two, the church interior style. What's the difference, everyone? Can you find the differences?
The brightness,
Huh?
the brightness,
Oh, yeah. What else? Very good.
I think the Baroque one is more of a you can see every detail, but
Mm-hmm.
on the Rococo, it's like
Mm-hmm.
a little bit blurry.
Mm,
You can't feel the whole thing.
yeah, very good. So the Baroque style is dark but grandeur. However, the Rococo style is bright, feminine, and sophisticated. Very good, everyone. How about the paintings? The left one is Baroque style, the Caravaggio's painting, and the right one is Rococo's painting. So these two paintings are well using the deep contrast lighting, but seems different. We can feel the different feeling. What's the difference?
The left painting is pretty dramatic, I will say. It
Mhm,
captured the emotion and everything. And the one on the right is more playful. The colors are more subtle and beautiful, pretty much.
Exactly. Very good. So the most of Baroque art describe the biblical episode, the left one. Also very heavy and dark and serious. On the other hand, the Rococo's painting depicts daily life and nature of novels. And it shows light and bright, looks very lovely. Very good. So I'm going to share a video to see more in diverse Rococo art. Uh, looks very lovely. So that was the Rococo's art. And today we have a discussion. So after this meeting, everyone, please go to week 12 and go find the week 12-1 discussion. So please read ebook page 496. And then please discuss 2 works of art in the e-textbook. And also I checked your submission of the assignment too, and some of you still didn't submit your assignment too yet. Please submit it as soon as possible. And please check your participation grade by week 9. And if you miss anything, please post it as soon as possible and then send me an email to upgrade your grade. And also, if you didn't submit assignment 1 as well, please submit it as soon as possible. The latest submission is acceptable, so please submit it as soon as possible. Any question, everyone? Nope. All right. So have a great day, everyone, and see you next on Thursday.
Bye, Professor.
Professor.
Bye.
Good day, Professor.
Have a great
Take care.
day.
Bye.